to another package of Kogi in Focus, a program that beams its searchlights on happenings within Kogi State in the last 7 days. I am Khadijat Mohammed. In today's edition, Kogi State Governor Bello lifts lockdown imposed on Kabba Bunu local government area. Kogi government inaugurates new appointees, and the state is ready to revive transportation sector as the government inaugurates 3 committees. This and many more when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Kogi state government has set up 3 committees to revive the transport sector in the state. The secretary to the state government, Ajaokuta, during the inauguration of the committees, said the aim is to create an efficient transport system which will also create employment opportunities.
The creation of a transport system that will work for the residents has been a recurring headache for successful administrations since the creation of Kogi State. The closest the state came to getting it right was in 2016 with the construction and launch of the state mega terminal that was said to be the biggest in Nigeria, commissioned by then Governor Idris Wada. The project is yet to fully take off. But it looks as if things are about to change with the setting up and inauguration of 3 committees to make road and marine transportation in the state more efficient and effective and able to generate revenue.
For the committee for Kogi State, you are to deliberate and suggest to the Ministry of Transportation ways to revamp Kogi State Confluence Express services through the public-private partnership arrangement. Members are to find out strategies adopted by other states in their giant strides in the road transportation system. You're to work out modalities for the smooth takeoff of the Kogi State Confluence Inland Waterways Express services. You are to suggest relevant facilities required for smooth takeoff and operation of the LOKOJA mega terminal.
The Kogi State Commissioner for Transportation, Baron Joseph Okoli, promised the public-private sector collaboration to ensure things go according to plan.
We are projecting about 300 to 500 million naira monthly internally generated revenue when eventually these committees and this sector is put in place accordingly.
He promised to coordinate the affairs of the committees and his ministry.
Even in the water sector, the road sector, like what we are intending doing, we want to put no less than 200 buses from investors, because we are going to create an enabling environment whereby people will bring in their vehicles here, we register them, and allow them to flow with our supervision. And from there, a lot of our youths are going to get jobs.
The committee say the first step is to come up with viable transportation roadmap. The water, mega terminal, and confluence express committees have been given 9 weeks to do their findings and chart a way forward for Kogi State's transportation system.
The Kogi State government has 28 new advisors, special assistants, and Parastatal board members. The new appointees took their oaths of office in Lokaja, where Deputy Governor Edward Onoja charged them to be of good character and operate within the state government's new direction blueprint.
The oath taking was coordinated by the Secretary to the State Government, Ajaokuta, who told the new appointees to make their presence felt in the running of the Yahaya Bello administration.
I cannot achieve what I need to achieve in Kogi State alone as a person. I need capable hands. I need people of proven characters and of vast, wonderful experiences to join me in building Kogi State together. And that is why we are here seated to have the special advisors to advise on different areas as you've been appointed.
Deputy Governor Edward Onoja who represented Governor Yahaya Bello at the event, also had words of advice for the new appointees.
We are called to service from different senatorial districts, from different religion, from different class and background. Be rest assured and please be reminded that the leader that we all follow, if we truly, genuinely follow, abhors certain values and upheld certain values. In the service that you will be rendering to Kogi State under the new direction government of His Excellency Yahaya Bello, ensure that you follow the leader. Do not begin to define your own leadership set core values that are in divergent views from that of the leader. It means you are not following the vision.
The old takers expressed gratitude for being considered worthy of being part of the government and promised to put in their best.
It is a rare privilege, and I give God to Almighty God. And also to my principal, His Excellency, the Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, who has given me the rare and opportunity to serve the good people of Kogi State again. And I assure you, more and more social investment program will roll out, even the state version of it, to complement the federal government.
My feeling today is of gratitude, is of thanks that I'm deemed worthy to continue to serve my state and humanity. We have huge tourism assets in Kogi State. All we need to do now is to pay more attention, be serious, and our tourism and culture industry will come up.
The government must have thought I can do what they want to move education to its greatest height in Kogi State. Being a technocrat and having been on the field for very long.
Education is the bedrock of development. Generally, it is generally accepted, and it is like that. I am in the field of education, be a professional there. I am aware of it that His Excellency Ajaokuta is one of the prime interests in education. I'm going to do my best to make sure we standardize education in Kogi State.
To have opportunity to serve for the second term, meaning I have done well in the first tenure and I'll be returned to the same office. And what I have done that impressed His Excellency to return me back, I think I will double my effort.
In the first tenure, we did our best to the extent at which we could. But as we all know that the new direction is doing more this time around. And so we'll be doing more for the women, more for the children, and more for everyone individual in Kogi State.
Governor Yahaya Bello appears to have taken his time before making these appointments, almost 6 months after he took his oath as governor, after his re-election in the November 2019 governorship election. The appointments are spread across key ministries and parastatals. A new government house chaplain was also sworn in.
In our last edition, we told you the state governor announced the lockdown of Kabba Bunu local government following the NCDC reported confirmed case of COVID-19 in the area. To make the lockdown effective, a mobile court was approved and moved to Kabba Bunu local government by the state chief judge, Justice Nasiru Ajana. The acting chief registrar of the High Court of Justice of the state, Bamidele Aina, who made this known to journalists through a statement, said the Chief Judge of State has constituted the court in line with the Quarantine Act as it applies to the state. Notice was given to the public to adhere strictly to the laid-down guidelines during the period. The mobile courts, which are at magisterial level, was to commence sitting immediately and will sit throughout the duration of the 2 weeks lockdown declared by the state, pending further directives. The Kogi state government has deployed surveillance team to Kabba Bunu local government area following the governor's imposition of a 2 weeks lockdown following the confirmation by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control of 2 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the area. The Commissioner for Health, Saka Haruna, who made this public after the 5th State Executive Council meeting in LOKOJA, said the well-being of residents will continue to be the state government's topmost priority.
The State Executive Council rose from the meeting said, in line with cushioning the effect of the movement restrictions caused by the COVID-19 scare, government intends to upscale the provision of palliatives and other forms of support.
Our intention is to do house-to-house active case search, and this exercise will be sustained until every household receives the much-needed support from Kogi State government.
The Commissioner for Information and Communication Strategy, Kingsley Fanwo, highlighted the state government's position on the COVID-19 controversy with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control.
Because of our face-off with the agency, we are not too sure as to the genuinity of their intentions to intervene. We also will be asking questions concerning the deployment of the machines to the state, which they said they are bringing to the Federal Medical Center. We would want to know whether the intentions are genuine, because we don't know. They might be bringing those machines to be able to be counting positive cases. We also don't trust in the integrity of the sample collection materials they are bringing.
Fanwo further expressed concern over the role played by the Federal Medical Center LOKOJA in the saga.
We want to tell our people to be very cautious in accessing healthcare at the Federal Medical Center going forward. With our very bitter experience of the past 1 week, where they referred a patient to the National Hospital without informing the state at the right time, and collaborating with NCDC to declare fake cases in Kogi State.
In other developments, the State Executive Council approved memos of bills to be passed to the State Assembly.
Memo on bill for a law to make certain provisions for the Office of the Auditor General for local government areas in Kogi State. Memo on a bill for a law to repeal and reenact the Kogi State Public Procurement Law 2014, and memo on bill for law to provide for the establishment of the Central Reference Hospital, Okene. And I believe the Assembly in its wisdom, when these instruments get to them, will look at it and do justice to it.
Council also approved the setting up of an environment task force to get rid of illegal structures. Fanwo promised the task force will operate with all forms of fairness and responsibility.
As the total lockdown imposed on Kabba Bunu local government area by Kogi State government entered the second day as a result of alleged COVID-19 outbreak in the area, the Obaro of Kabba, Oba Solomon Owoni, has vehemently appealed to the state government to relax the lockdown, saying within 24 hours, farmers in the area have lost their farm produce to the activities of the herdsmen. The royal father, who made the appeal at his residence in Kabba, lamented that farming, which is the source of livelihood of his people, has been destroyed by herdsmen as people were locked down at home.
Rural people, our elderly people, our poor, very, very poor people here. So we are appealing to His Excellency to lift this ban, but we are not saying that the other protocols should not be accomplished. They can do tests, they can do contact tracing, they can even quarantine, they can isolate, they can do everything they want to do. Because this is the standard by WHO. We are not saying this matter should not be investigated by government, but we are saying that the discomfort should be minimized in the interest of our people.
He said they cannot survive the 14 days lockdown as 48 hours was already very devastating to them. The monarch warned against politicizing issues that has negative effect on the people. He said the current administration and the state have no enemy in Kogi West and nobody has the mandate of the people to utter statements that are not in line with the peaceful coexistence of the entire district, and they don't want Kabba town to be used as a battleground to settle scores or political differences. He appealed to the state government to assist the people of Kabba with palliatives to cushion the effect of the lockdown. The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo, who led health workers and journalists to the palace, said that the state government declared the total lockdown to enable thorough conduct of contact tracing of the alleged COVID-19 outbreak in the local government.
And the only option left, in line with the protocols of public health management, is to lock down the local government area and ensure that the health experts at the ministry are able to trace all the contacts and also test them to be sure.
He added that the decision to lock down of Kabba and its environment was not aimed at inflicting hardship on the people, but to clear the insinuations made by some indigents that there is COVID-19 in the town. Residents of Kabba lamented over hardship caused by the lockdown. They said it is unbearable.
What really happened is that in Kabba there is nothing like Koro. It may be a burial ceremony, a bee just came out from nowhere and just it was called the Limam. And the Limam is okay now, leading prayer. He's one of my family self. And apart from that, people are not be able to do business and there's lockdown, there's no palliative something for the people. So we all are all hungry and you can see everywhere is locked down. We should just please, there's no Koro in our environment. We are very, very okay.
They appeal to the governor to relax it before they will go starving. The Kogi state government on first and second day of lockdown commenced contact tracing of the index case of the COVID-19 pandemic to forestall any outbreak and spread of the disease in Kabba Bunu local government area of the state. They return with reports gathered to the governor that Kabba people have pleaded for the lifting of the lockdown. Luck was on the people of Kabba Bunu's side and their prayer was answered as the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello lifted the lockdown order placed on them after the governor confirmed successful contact tracing and sample collections of persons linked to the Imam of Kabba, Sheikh Ejibunu, whom the Nigeria Center for Disease Control confirmed as having tested positive to COVID-19. He said all family and contact persons tested negative. Governor Bello, who announced this at a media briefing in Lokaja, however, said he is still dissatisfied with the NCDC methods of allocating cases to states.
Governor Bello said the lockdown on Kabba Bunu local government was lifted after he confirmed a good number of contact traced persons tested negative to COVID-19.
The team went further into contact tracing. Those that were believed to have come in contact with the purported incident cases. They were tested and the result came out negative. To that end, the total lockdown of Kabba Bunu local government is hereby lifted completely. We have collected a lot of samples to be sent to NCDC laboratory to further corroborate this particular claim of ours.
He said he is not satisfied with the way and manner COVID-19 cases were allocated to the state.
During the week, we were meant to understand that another allocation was made to us. We have no issues to join with NCDC. We only call on NCDC to be professional, to respect their protocol, and respect their own rules of engagement. You can't record a case for Kogi State when no test was carried out on that particular case in Kogi State.
Kabba Chief Imam Sheikh Abubakar Ejibunu, the controversial index case of coronavirus in Kogi State, has been discharged from the National Hospital, Abuja. Ejibunu, now hale and hearty, was discharged and is being brought to Kabba, his hometown, to reunite with his family members. Speaking with newsmen, one of the family members who did not want his name mentioned confirmed it. Sheikh Bunu was moved from the Federal Medical Center LOKOJA to the National Hospital 2 weeks ago, where he was diagnosed and confirmed by the National Center for Disease Control to be positive with the coronavirus. Kogi State government has further disagreed with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, over another COVID-19 case allocated to the state. Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo, who briefed journalists in Lokaja, the state capital, insists that the chief imam of Kabba and his son also never tested positive for COVID-19.
The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo, insisting that the state is still COVID-19 free. That Kogi State government also rejected the third case the NCDC allocated to the state, assuring that it will continue to work hard to ensure that the state is COVID-19 free and the virus does not enter the state.
Been in a state of advanced readiness since the early days of this pandemic. Our isolation centers remain unoccupied. We have thousands of rapid test kits available.
Fanwo said the government will be the first to announce any case of COVID-19 should it occur, saying he has interacted with the discharged Kabba imam, who says he never tested positive for COVID-19.
The cleric maintains that he suffered from nothing beyond complications from an attack by bees, till he was released a few days ago. He was held in conditions which allowed him to interact with visitors.
The commissioner said even the imam's son, who was said to have tested positive, was not isolated or hospitalized. Even after mingling freely with the father and visitors, he was allowed to go home. The commissioner explained that till date, NCDC is yet to disclose the identity of the third case of a woman said to have tested positive from the state, describing the center's approach to Kogi State as one of desperation aimed at labeling the state amongst its log of states with positive cases.
FMC is a collaborator with NCDC in ensuring that they declare fictitious figures for our dear state. We try to trace and confirm and be sure, because if there is any case today, like we have said, we will be the first to come out to announce it.
Attempts to reach out to the chief imam of Kabba proved abortive. The state government last week locked down Kabba Bunu local government over the reported case, and contact tracing, and with all those tested, came out negative.
The Kogi State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists has returned all its executive members for a second term in office. Opinion leaders who witnessed their re-election in LOKOJA said their performance in the just concluded tenure of office deserve nothing less than for them to be allowed to continue with the good work.
I will love to appreciate our members here for conducting themselves in a peaceful and orderly manner, thereby, leading to what we are doing today. I want to advise the newly sworn in State Working Committee to see their renewal of mandates as a challenge, that they need to work harder.
There will be no issue of transition, and then some of his programs, he will also have the opportunity to continue with the programs he has on ground, for which the people revalidated his mandate.
Their re-election has proved that they have performed very well. And the way they are going, I know the sky will be their limit. But if they said you are good, they say should add it with buffing. They should improve more on what they have done.
The re-elected chairman of the Kogi State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ajaokuta, says he remains committed to the well-being and performance capacities of media professionals in the state.
To whom much is given, much is expected. So it's a challenge that we should do more. Whatever we have done to have given us this opportunity, we are going to do more to ensure that we justify the confidence they pose in us.
Momajima, who made the commitment after the inauguration of his executive committees in LOKOJA, also called on the government to provide the needed support to make the dissemination of the right information easier for journalists.
They should give us the opportunity to do that we need to do, to also work to give people, that is the people of Kogi State, the good governance that they desire.
Mama Jima said everybody stands to benefit when journalists do their job the way they are supposed to. He said this behoves the responsibility of supporting journalists on everybody, especially government. The Adeza Mama Jima-led executive of the Kogi State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists was re-elected for another 3-year term during the week amidst controversy surrounding the first confirmation of cases of COVID-19 by the NCDC. The need to improve the welfare of journalists was also highlighted by representatives of bodies present at the inauguration.
Over 100 journalists within and outside LOKOJA converged on the NUJ Secretariat in Lokaja to witness the inauguration of the re-elected State Executive Council members, where their performance during the last tenure was highlighted.
We have been able to touch the life of our member through revolving loan. We only organize a free medical treatment and test for members.
Executive members from the national and zonal offices encouraged them to perform even better this time around.
They do their job, they report, they keep people informed about what is going on in government. So I believe that people should begin to see journalists for who they are. They are more nationalistic than any other person. They have paid a price, a greater price, for the progress of this unity.
As long as there's no welfareism, no trust in leadership, and then you should be transparent. Whatever enters in the name of the union, it should be adequately shared, and members should be made to know. Because I know problem of journalists, when it comes to sharing of benefit, it creates problem.
The newly elected leadership of Kogi State Council should concentrate majorly on capacity building and capacity development, training and retraining of members, so that we'll be updated with the international standards of journalism.
The government representative also added his voice.
And we know that the government of His Excellency Yahaya is a journalist-friendly administration. We have never had it wrong with him like other recruits. And therefore, on behalf, we want to also congratulate him on his behalf.
The returned chairman Adeza Momo Jimo called on the government to support journalists in their efforts to manage and disseminate information.
We are ready to work with them. There's no how you can get good governance that the media will not be playing a role. So if the media must play a role to bring about good governance, then they should be ready to work with us.
Adeza said he and other members of his executive will collectively focus on how to improve the lot of journalists in the state.
If you're just joining us, this is Kogi in Focus, your weekly program that brings to you happenings within the conflict state, Kogi. For your information, comments, advert placement and sponsorship, even for your event coverage, please call the number or reach us via our social media handle displayed on your screen. The Federal High Court sitting in Lokaja has passed judgments between the Ata Igala Kingdom and federal government over some local government areas in the state. The judge Okorowo, who took final decisive decision, says Lokaja, Koto and Ajaokuta local government areas have been returned to Ata Igala by a Kogi State High Court as part of the territory of Igala Kingdom under the jurisdiction of the Ata Igala. Secretary to Ata Igala Palace confirmed the story. Similarly, the court awarded a cost of 10 billion naira compensation to be paid to Igala Kingdom for illegally operating on her soil without royalties for years. He said Ata Igala has won the case over the ownership rights of LOKOJA and others for the entire Igala Kingdom. Since the pronouncement by the Federal High Court sitting in LOKOJA, mixed reactions has begun to trail. In a reaction, the people of LOKOJA, Koto and Ajaokuta local government areas have rejected the verdict of the Federal High Court sitting in LOKOJA, annexing their towns as part of the Igala Kingdom. Stakeholders and 12 representatives comprising members of the National and State Assemblies from across the 3 local governments converged on LOKOJA and distanced themselves from any annexation proceedings of their ancestral land.
Indigenes of the affected area say the pronouncement of the court ceding their land to the Ata Igala is unacceptable.
Firstly, that we were not parties to the proceedings, Neither were we at any time aware of the pendency of any action in respect of our ancestral land, despite being in active possession for over 2 centuries prior to this action. Since judgment of a court binds only parties to the proceedings, we therefore consider the pronouncement of the court ceding our land to the claimants, Bazaya, and ipso facto unacceptable.
They say the claimant laying claim to a case ongoing since 1940 is most unacceptable.
It is our humble position and also an elementary principle of law that the Federal High Court, sitting in Lokaja or indeed anywhere, lacks jurisdiction over land matters or actions connected therewith.
They are also of the view that the action of the claimant and the relief sought failed to take cognizance of the cordiality of relationship between the component ethnic units of Kogi State and is capable of causing a breach of the peace.
We as a people therefore call on all the peace-loving and law-abiding citizens of these federal constituencies to remain calm and law-abiding as we have commenced the process of seeking redress to set aside the such judgment on appeal that has all the trappings of modern-day slavery and consequently unacceptable to all lovers of freedom.
The reaction came following last week's judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Lokaja in a matter between Ata Igala Land, Michael Ame Oboni, and the Attorney General of the Federation, where Lokaja, Koto and Ajaokuta were declared part of Igala Land.
The Ohimege Igu of Koto Kogi Local Government Council, His Royal Majesty Abdulrazak Issa Koto, has urged his people to remain law-abiding in the recent judgment of the overlord of Ajaokuta, Lokoja, and Koto to the Ata Igala. The royal father says he has assembled a team of professional lawyers to take over the legal battle. He said the team of lawyers is already studying the judgment in order to fathom appropriate response. He assured that the people will get judgment, pointing out that the judgment insults the sensibility of Koto people.
Governor Bello reacted to the Federal High Court judgment annexing Lokaja, Koto and Ajaokuta to the Ata Igala and called for calm on all sides.
I want to urge you to remain calm, be law-abiding. Don't take laws into your hands. Those that are concerned as far as that pronouncement is concerned, I urge them to seek a legal redress, not to help yourself. Those of you that are in the social media or any conventional media trying to sow seed of division should please desist. We have nothing to gain out of it.
He said he will continue with his style of governance with zero tolerance for tribalism, segregation, and imperialism.
The judgment has elicited hot reactions from different members of the public. Ebra People's Association, EPA, has appealed to the people of Kogi Central to remain calm over the federal court judgment on Ajaokuta, Lokoja, and Kogi local government councils. The President General of EPA, Dr. Abdurrahman Adeza, in a press statement issued on Saturday, which copy was made available to newsmen in Lokoja, enjoined the people to remain calm and go about their normal duties without any rancor and not get provoked by the June 2nd midnight judgment on the Federal High Court's Lokoja division. His words: the court judgment is an attempted coup whose outcome gave the plotters only false and evaporative satisfaction. The last is definitely to be heard on this controversial litigation. There are more superior courts in the land that need to hear the matter from those who are dissatisfied with the outcome of the judgment. Ebira is known to have its full-fledged competent institutions to handle its affairs in situations. We therefore appeal for calm as our traditional institutions and other competent and relevant stakeholders shall collaborate to take the necessary steps until the needed justice is obtained. He warned no one should take the laws into their hands to breach the peace of the land, as there is a more potent alternative to getting what rightly belongs to them. In particular, he urged the teeming youth to cease all social media fireworks. He says Ebira land is a land of blessings and the people therein must exhibit characters that emit peace and resolve all issues peacefully. Adaiza said by this plea from EPA, he trusts in all Anibira to allow the best option to be the choice in the circumstance. In God they trust, and in Him they have found their checkered history as one of the few entities in the world. The Obaro Yoruba speaking of LOKOJA local government in Kogi State said they will not allow their original history to be tampered with through bias and unpopular legal process. This assurance was contained in a statement issued in LOKOJA by the Obaro Development Association, a socio-cultural group of the Obaro people. The group, which was reacting to the recent decision of a federal high court sitting in LOKOJA, ceding Ajaokuta, Lokaja and Kogi local governments to Igala Kingdom, assured that the decision will not go unchallenged at the upper court. Chief Umar Adoga and Suleiman Abdullahi, the president secretary of ODA, who signed the statement, also urged the federal, state and the local governments concerned to take urgent steps to prevent the development from degenerating to crisis. The association appealed to the people to remain calm and go about their lawful activities, promising that necessary steps were being taken to resolve the matter. The Managing Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Dr. George Omogalu, has disclosed that the abandoned Lokaja Inland River Port in Kogi State will cost federal government 4.112 billion naira when completed. Works on the port has been dragging for the past 8 years, while that of Obaro in Niger State have been completed and commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari sometimes last year. In an interactive session with journalists in Lokaja, Dr. Mogalu said Federal Executive Council had earlier in the year approved the Ministry of Transportation memo for 2 billion naira revised cost for the completion of the project. The approval puts the total cost of the project at 6.4 billion naira from the reviewed 4.112 billion naira. Mogalu noted that the federal government is committed to ensuring that the river port, which is critical to the Nigeria's waterways operation, is completed and operational. He said despite the cessation of works on the main project due to the bottlenecks, the authority has been on site, extended the fetching and other works. The project was first awarded to Messrs. Fobi Engineering Limited at the cost of 2.3 billion naira in 2007, and a mobilization fee of 800 million naira was paid. But due to alleged inability of the contractor to perform, the contract was revoked, revised and subsequently re-awarded in the second quarter of 2012 to another company, Interbal Construction Limited, at the cost of 4.112 billion naira. The administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who re-awarded the contract on March 23, 2012, gave 57 weeks as the expected period for the completion of the project, but work stalled in 2016 due to irrevocable distances between the federal government and the construction firm. Mogalu said with the approval of the revised cost, works on the project will be accelerated and completed in record time. He mentioned that authorities management has been interfacing with the contractor handling the project on the matter following the approval of the revised contract sum by the Federal Executive Council. The federal government has secured $1.45 billion funding to finally complete Ajaokuta Steel Complex. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Olamilekon Adebite, who disclosed these facts in Abuja, said that Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, which was also represented on the team set up by President Muhammadu Buhari, was looking at some of the figures. According to him, the process to complete the project commenced with the bilateral meeting between Nigeria's delegation led by Buhari to Russia in 2018 and Russian delegation led by Vladimir Putin during the Russia-Africa Summit. President Buhari and President Vladimir Putin of the Russian Federation had an agreement on a government-to-government basis where the Russian government, being the original builders of Ajaokuta, will come back and help to complete whatever is left. He said they will do some equipment audit, that the plant is currently okay. Nothing has been looted, the plant is there and is running fine. The process of the completion has started, but for COVID-19, Russians will have arrived for the technical audit. They were supposed to come in late February to start the technical audit. The technical audit will lead to a concrete document like a bill of engineering measurements and evaluation, which will give them a concrete report that will inform them about the cost. Unfortunately, COVID-19 restriction leading to lockdown in the airspace prevented that from happening. As soon as this is lifted globally, the technical people will come in to do their job. Meanwhile, the Federal Minister of Justice has been mandated to study all previous agreements that could serve as an encumbrance to the realization of the project and resolve them once and for all. The Kogi State Police Command received report of the unfortunate incident where some armed robbers numbering about 25 invaded the ISANLU town simultaneously, attacked the First Bank branch and the police station with AK-47 rifles and dynamite to gain access to the facilities. The Police Command Public Relations Officer, DSP William Yahaya, in his press statement, confirmed that during the incident, 8 police officers lost their lives, among which were 3 women police officers, while others sustained various degrees of injuries. The injured officers were taken to the hospital for treatment, while the corpses were deposited at the mortuary. The Commissioner of Police, Kogi State Police Command, has deployed a team of operatives comprising Special Anti-Robbery Squad, Police Mobile Force, Counter-Terrorism Unit, Tactical and Operational Officers, as well as homicide detectives in synergy with other security agencies to the scene to comb the area with the view of arresting the culprits as well as reassures the residents of their safety. The Commissioner of Police urged members of the public to sharpen their power of observation and report any suspicious movements or characters within and around the ISANLU area to the police or nearest security agencies. The Commissioner wishes to reassure the public that the case will be investigated to its logical conclusion and the perpetrators brought to book. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has encouraged the people of ISANLU to remain calm over the attack, promised his administration will not let perpetrators go free. Governor Bello, who sympathized with the family of the dead during the attack, said at the press briefing that his administration will not relent at his effort to make Kogi unfavorable to criminals.
Let me use this opportunity to give out our hearts to the families of those who lost their loved ones. Trust our security agencies that they will go after those who carried out the dastard act and they will be brought to justice.
He also expressed condolence to the Nigerian police and the banking industry over the affected persons. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition. Please join me for another edition, same time on this channel. Remember to continue to do to others what you want them to do to you, and remain safe by continuing to observe all COVID-19 preventive measures. I am Khadijat Mohammed, saying goodbye.